Hello, YouTube family. How's everybody tonight? Um, it is Watch Wednesday. So if you come back, your family, welcome. Please sit down, have a seat, make yourself at home. If you're new, I am Texas Beach Mom or Mama Robin, whichever you prefer. And it is Wednesday, so it makes it Watch Wednesday. And what I'm well, we got some things to cover tonight. Um, they're not new information, so if you got your hopes up for something new, no, that didn't happen. But this is what we do have. Friday night during my live stream, we did get to talking about the Watts case again, and I did mention very briefly to the people watching that Jamie had said something about giving Chris the oxy. So, first of all, let me correct that. It wasn't, and I said it was an interview, but it wasn't. It was not an interview. It was a phone conversation. When one of the prison phone calls. Oh yeah. But let me back up a little bit. A lot of content creators do not like to talk about the oxy because it's not in the discovery. And because it's not in discovery, therefore it's not fact, therefore it didn't happen. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I get where they're coming from. I do. However, it's not in the discovery. And it wasn't in an interview. It was in one of the phone conversations where Jamie is talking to Chris. Now, unfortunately, I don't have it, and I'm going to keep looking until I get my hands on it. But I heard a clip from Mommy Ramblings. I don't watch her stuff very often, but I do occasionally. And I did hear a clip, and part of it's garbled, and part of it you can't, it's muffled, garbled. You can't hardly understand it, and part of it's clear. In this conversation, or in this clip, Jamie brings up the oxy and says to Chris, I wish I hadn't given it to you. I didn't hear, you can't hear much of what was said before she says that, and you can't understand much of what was said after she says it, because like I said, a lot of it's garbled. But, that's the same conversation where she says something about, I wish we could go back to that day on Mom and Dad's porch, or however she says that. So it makes me wonder if she did give him the oxy. And it makes me wonder if that was the time that she did it. Like if they were on Mom and Dad's porch. When she says, I wish I hadn't given it to you, it makes me wonder if she knew what it was for. If she knew his plans, because according to some things that Chris has said, and according to some things that other people have talked about, Chris had apparently had given oxy to Shanann to abort the baby. And it is in the discovery that Shanann, one of the nights in North Carolina that Chris was there, Shanann got very, very sick. She threw up all night long. Maybe oxy wasn't enough to abort the baby, but maybe it was enough to make her sick. So right now, what I'm doing is pretty much speculation. I mean, it's just my opinion, my theory, my whatever. I'm asking questions. It's my theory, if you will. Like I said. So because there is a clip out there of a phone conversation between Jamie and Chris. Jamie is Chris's sister. Because there is a clip of a phone conversation where she mentions giving him the oxy and wishing that she hadn't. I wonder why she wishes it. It makes me wonder if she knew what his plans were. If maybe she did a little bit of looking back going, oh crap, I wish I hadn't done this. Does she have something to hide? I mean, because had she given him the oxy, had Jamie given Chris the oxy, okay? Had she given it to him, knowing what his plans were, then I'm not sure how much legally that connects her to the murders. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why she wishes she hadn't. Maybe that's why she wishes she had never done it. Or maybe just looking back, oh my God, he killed his family later. Maybe I shouldn't have done the things I'd done. I mean, I don't know. As much as Jamie and Cindy disliked Shanann, I doubt it bothered her that much. Because the oxy would have had nothing to do with the kids dying. But it definitely might have had something to do with her dying. You know what I'm saying? But I doubt it. I don't think, because she just did not like Shanann. You know, I was watching Mommy's Ramblings, which is how I stumbled upon. Well, see, here's the thing. When I mentioned it Friday night, I had heard it somewhere before. I've also heard it mentioned on Crime Catalyst, which I've talked about her many times. I think y'all need to go see her. But I remember hearing it on a Mommy Ramblings video, the thing about the oxy and Jamie giving it to him. I remember hearing it a long time ago, like when I first started learning about this case, but it didn't sink into my head. And then recently I was watching a Crime Catalyst video and she mentions it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Jamie did say that. But I had mentioned that it was in an interview and I'm wrong. It was in a phone conversation. One of the jailhouse prison phone conversations between Jamie and Chris. So, and here's something else that crossed my mind tonight, and some of you are going to agree with me and some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But here's something that crossed my mind tonight. When people hate Shanann, when they hate on Shanann, most of the time they don't have a sound reason. They say things like, well, we saw what a bitch she was in those videos. No, you didn't. That's not, and in some cases they saw clips of a video that's been doctored, like by, oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now. Oh, I remembered it a long time ago when I first started talking about this. Not that crazy, okay. I cannot remember the woman's name right now, but I have mentioned her before. Because there's clips out there that the Shanann bashers play. Because they've taken some of Shanann's videos, Facebook videos, and they've edited it and they've tweaked it to make it show, and they've edited it in, spliced it, mixed it, whatever, to make Shanann look as bad as possible. They've taken bits and pieces and they try to show just the right ones to make Shanann look bad. So that is part of it. That is part of what people are talking about. But when I sat and I was watching another one by Crime Catalyst tonight, and I was listening to her words, and I was listening to Cindy talk, Chris' mom. Cindy has so much hatred for Shanann. An unbelievable amount. And I know a lot of relationships where mother-in-law and daughter-in-law don't get along. Believe me, I'm familiar with it. But this amount of hatred that comes from Cindy Watts about Shanann is unbelievable. The amount of hatred that slides out is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. And Jamie had, from what I can gather, because you don't hear that much from Jamie. Most of your crap you hear is from Cindy Watts. And occasionally from Ronnie Watts. And some of it's from Jamie. and a couple of things have been from Jamie's friends. But she did everything in her power to make Shanann look as bad as she could make her look. And they did things to poke and to prod at Shanann, to push Shanann's buttons, just to see how mad they could get her. You know, they intentionally did things. So I'm wondering how many people that hate Shanann learned that hate from listening to Cindy Watts, from listening to her interviews, from listening to her say the things that she said about Shanann, because she tries to paint Shanann. She goes out of her way to paint Shanann in a horrible, horrible picture. She does. She goes out of her way. And that's sad. She shouldn't, but she does. You know? So I doubt if Jamie had done anything, if Jamie had done anything like the oxy, if she'd actually given Chris the oxy and if she actually knew it was from, I doubt she has that very much remorse for as much hate as she had. But maybe she does. Maybe she has some remorse. Just maybe. That's a possibility. Maybe she looked back at it going, oh, shit. Maybe I shouldn't have. Because I do believe the clip includes the two conversations are from, or the two different clips are from one conversation. I believe that they're connected. Now, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. But I believe they're connected. I believe when she talks about how she wished she hadn't given him the oxy, and how she wished she could go back to the night on the porch, I'm wondering if she gave him that oxy that night. Just a theory. But yes, in a phone call, not in an interview, I was wrong. In a phone call, where Jamie is talking about, or talking to Chris, she mentions the oxy. She mentions giving it to him. And if you've heard Chris talk about it, that's one of those secrets he's going to take to his grave, where he got the oxy from. Got it from his sister. If the clip is understood correctly. Jamie gave him the oxy, which he then gave to Shanann to abort the baby. Everybody thinks that NK gave him the oxy. I think it was NK that did the research on what will oxy do to a pregnant person or whatever. I think NK did the research for him, but I think he got the oxy from his sister based on that little bit of clip. Now, what my job is between now and next Wednesday is to really dig in and do a lot of research. I want to find that clip. I want to hear that whole clip. I'm only hearing bits and pieces of a clip, and it's kind of garbled. It's kind of muffled. I want to see if I can find a better copy of that clip or a better copy of that conversation to see if I can piece together what she actually says, because they're talking about something beforehand. And then Jamie mentions something about not giving him, wish she hadn't given him the oxy. And then I do believe in that same conversation is when she mentions something about, I wish we could go back to that night on the porch at Mom and Dad's. They might be connected. So, that's really all I have for everybody tonight. I've got a lot of research to do between now and next Wednesday. I got to see if I can find that whole clip or that whole conversation. If I can find and then that's why it's not in the discovery. That is why it's not in the discovery. Because, and that's why a lot of creators will say, oh, it didn't happen. I don't believe it happened because it's not in the discovery. Well, if it was a conversation that happened between Jamie and Chris after the fact, it wouldn't be in the discovery. Now, there's also the argument of the toxicology report, and there's no mention of oxy in the toxicology report, which makes people believe what didn't happen. So then, what was Jamie talking? If in fact it didn't happen, what was Jamie talking about? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's why my job now is to go find that clip. My job is to sit down and find that clip and listen to that whole thing. Hours and hours and hours of listening to phone conversations, because I don't want just those two garbled clips. I want the whole conversation. And if I can find it where it's been, I want to find the whole conversation if I can. And not that it changes anything, because it doesn't. Chris did what Chris did. And he did it with someone's help. He did it without someone's help. He did it because he loved Nicole. He did it for whatever reason he did it. Chris did it. So Chris, this doesn't excuse anything, and it really doesn't change that much. Except for most of us been wondering, first of all, if there really was oxy. Second of all, who gave it to him. We all thought it was Nicole, and it might have been Jamie. According to the clip I heard, it was Jamie. It was Jamie. That's why now this is just kind of going to end where it is. There will be another live stream Friday night. I don't know what I'm going to discuss yet. And between this Wednesday and next Wednesday, I'm going to find that. I'm going to see if I can find that whole conversation. Because I wonder if she did in fact give him the oxy. I wonder if she knew what he wanted the oxy for. And I wonder if that's what she's referring to when she says, I wish we could go back to that night on Mom and Dad's porch. So that's it on Watch Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room because people are going to ask. Anyway, yes, I did change my hair color. I went into a darker blonde. I put a medium ash on it. Instead of it being the lighter beigey pearl that it was, I put a medium ash on it. Which I actually like better. So that's going to, I went ahead and addressed that. There will be a live stream Friday night, and I will look for that. I want to look for that conversation. Because I think those two things were in the same conversation, and I'm thinking that they both happened. That she gave him the oxy that night, maybe on the porch or something. Just a theory. Just a theory. See, if y'all give me some time, let me do some research, I will do my best to find that whole conversation. Because I think that's not going to, like I said, doesn't change anything. He did what he did. But we've all been kind of curious, does the oxy exist? Who gave it to him? The way this clip implies, it was Jamie. So, and for all the people in Florida, I don't know. The last time I got a couple of friends that live in Florida. The last time I talked to one of my friends a few hours ago, it hadn't hit where he was at, and he didn't expect it to hit hard. He didn't expect to hit where he was at, and he didn't expect it to be a 5 by the time it hit land. And I don't know if it's made landfall or not, but if it has, there's all kinds of resources for people to look up, and you can help people in that. If you want to help, if you have the money and you want to help out a little bit, there's all kinds of legitimate places to help. I think us.gov or whatever has one. I know Red Cross does one. Some people swear by Red Cross, people don't like them. I've heard rumors about things that they've done, but I don't have any concrete proof on that, so I, for the most part, trust them. But there's all kinds of help, people out there that need help. Still from Helen, and now from Milton. So, y'all can look into that. In the meantime, I want everybody to be good to themselves and each other. Take care of people. We need it. I mean, if we all just look out for each other, take care of each other, we would all be doing better. We need it. Anyway, y'all have a beautiful and blessed night. I will try to find that conversation by next Wednesday. And for those who want a little Friday night live, I'll be here Friday night, 10 o'clock. All right, well, y'all have a beautiful and blessed night. Mama Robin loves you.